Is this? It's our wild card question, and it's this: dinner with one person, dead or alive. Who would it be? And where do you go to eat? And then who is it with?
Ooh, I'm very tempted to pick someone like the Apostle Paul or somebody that would be amazing, but I still think I have to say Jon Foreman, who is, if you don't know, he's a lead singer of Switchfoot, and I have met him before. I used to be in a company to put on Christian concerts and stuff, but I've learned so much from him, his witness, his example. He's a fantastic writer himself, in addition to being a musician. And I just feel like there'd be so many great things to talk about. And I think I would want to go. He lives in San Diego.
Yeah,
And,
he's paying, by the
band.
way. John's paying. So,
Oh,
yeah,
there you go.
yeah. You're
So
not
I
paying.
would
John's
say,
paying.
I think, I would want him to choose somewhere in San Diego where he's from, because he's, talked about a lot of his favorite spots there and how, I've been to San Diego once, but, and they do have really good food there, but I would maybe let him pick, one of his favorite spots. Yeah, that'd be an amazing conversation for sure.
I feel like you're having fish tacos. I don't know why. I just feel like you're having fish tacos. So
Could be.
so you get John one-on-one, right? What are you going to ask him?
I think, man, I don't know. Kind of a side note too. I was looking one day on Twitter to see if anybody did like quotes from him as a Twitter account, and there was a couple that was just like Switchfoot lyrics. I was like, nobody does this. He deserves to have one. So I actually made one. And so this is, I may sound like the stalker now. I was like stalking this guy, but truth is, so
I
I
should
made this
take out
Twitter
my
account.
laugh, but it's so funny. I love it. So continue, please. I don't
Yeah.
mean to interrupt.
Yeah. So this Twitter account is called Daily Jon Foreman, and I just share one quote of his per day. He's got all these articles for Huffington Post, and he's so much material. Like I hardly ever even have to repeat quotes that he said. So I would probably dive into some of those things and say, can you elaborate more? What are your thoughts on this? And he's just so down to earth and humble person that I'd want to know some stuff about, like, his faith journey, and then also some more of the band stuff, like favorites and how you came to write this song and that kind of stuff as well.
Okay, now you got me going down a road, which is okay. So, favorite Jon Foreman quote? Do you have one off the top of your head?
Yeah, I think probably my favorite is when he said that, because the context, he was talking about how his career is about applause. Like, I'm trying to sell records and I'm trying to get applause at the concerts, but he said I'm really only responsible to make sure one person is clapping at the end of my life.
Wow.
So talking about God there.
Mic drop right there. And then
Yeah.
you got to be a big Switchfoot fan, right? I would imagine,
Yeah.
if you're following him this closely, right? Is there a song that
Yep.
resonates with you more than another?
I would say two, Dare You to Move, which I know it's like one of their top songs, can you go deeper than that? But that song has just meant so much to me in my life. And then Where I Belong, that is my go-to song whenever I'm on the beach or out in nature with my, AirPods in or whatever. My family just went to Gulf Shores for vacation a couple weeks ago, and that's always my, on the final night before we wake up early the next morning to come back. That's the song that I blare while I'm wading in the ocean, 10 or 11 o'clock at night.
So Switchfoot came through here, Oregon, and I had a very brief interaction with John, super brief. I actually tried to ask him the most important question of all time, and that's who's better, Carolina or Duke. So not really, who's Jesus to you. That's probably the most important question, let's be honest. But I got to meet Lecrae as well. I actually got a selfie with him. That was kind of fun. But I have always been fascinated by Jon Foreman because he is so cerebral. He is so just a thinker, and I love what you're saying, and I would hope, it's your lunch or your dinner or whatever, but I would hope maybe, since I'm West Coast, that maybe I could just tag along and just kind of be in the background, just with my notebook and maybe jotting some stuff down. So if you're okay with that, but.
Yeah.
But Tyler, thanks so much for coming on today, man. I love your insight. I love what you're talking about. I love what you're doing. And guys, I want to encourage you, go check out his book if that's something that grabs your attention, which it should. because we all should spend time 7 days a week with Jesus, not just once a week or one. But we shouldn't just do this like kind of fly by night thing. It really should be truly a relationship, and I think that's what Tyler's trying to do with his book. So I would, of course, encourage you guys to go do that. Tyler, you have the final thought. What would it be?